Hello everyone, welcome to my show, The Damn Fine Life Show with Rinku Madan, where we bring to you fascinating conversations, journeys sprinkled with some cooking with remarkable individuals from all walks of life.
फासत की खूबी सिर्फ स्वाद के आशिक जान.
Why not? It would be
Clearly, yeah.
I'm steering away from everything.
The Damn Fine Life Show. The Damn Fine Life Show.
Any notable trends or innovations that you have observed in the F&B sector, like
The Damn Fine Life Show.
never have I ever given a fake phone number to someone. To do that and then to still make a busy day.
Thank you.
शमशानघाट.
कहूँ कि बस
बता दो.
सीक्रेट
हम सिर्फ नमक नहीं बताएंगे, बाकी सब बता दो.
What these made.
Just go vertical
Okay, this can go on the side.
and you
Nice strands, yeah, okay, got it. My guest today is a restaurateur, a genius who turns every meal into an unforgettable symphony of flavors with a dash of creativity and pinches of passions. He's mastered the art of dining, crafting culinary experiences and tantalizing taste buds, leaving his guests craving for more. From quaint bistros to elegant eateries, his gastronomic genius has earned him a spot amongst the culinary elite. He has recently won the Industry Icon Award. He's a voracious reader, a golfer, he loves a game of tennis, yoga and now also paddle. He's a fine man who loves his jazz. So let's get ready to embark on a delicious journey as we dive into the world of A.D. Singh, founder and managing director, Olive Group, where every dish tells a story, every bite is pure magic. Please welcome the very wonderful A.D. Singh.
Lovely.
You look
Thank you for
very
that
nice.
introduction.
I love the look.
Here I am.
Thank you for taking out the time and to coming.
My pleasure.
So here we are.
Lovely. I love the setup you have.
Thank you so much.
But the cocktail I'm planning, the AD Affogato.
The A.D. Affogato.
And it's got a bit of a coffee kick, and that'll get us both going through the
Awake.
afternoon.
Okay.
How's that?
Perfect. Sounds amazing, and I can't wait to taste it. I want to know what is the twist in it. So is it a surprise, or do you want to tell?
No, not at all. I can tell you. So, some of my favorite things, of course, are coffee and ice cream and good whiskey. And I was actually bartending somewhere last week, and I thought, why don't I try and make an affogato with some whiskey in it? I actually came together very well. It was strong. It tasted good. There was a good balance to the drink.
You already know how to run this stuff.
It's an easy machine
Yeah.
for home coffee.
So how do you like your coffee generally? You're a coffee drinker?
Yeah, I normally have. Actually, I try and cut back. I normally have coffee on work days. So after lunch, I'll have a coffee to keep the rest of the work day productive.
Yes.
And normally I'll have a macchiato. That's my
Favorite.
favorite. Yeah.
What a way to
145
start!
ml.
What a way to start your day! Fantastic. Thank you.
I have to say, I don't start my day normally like this.
Yeah.
But,
Thankfully, none of us do.
and then I guess amount of whiskey as you feel like. Today we're putting in some Glen. I've given you a little more whiskey than mine.
No, please switch.
Yes.
I
See what you think.
have to ask you all the difficult
Makes it more
questions today.
fun.
Okay, cheers. It's really nice.
Maybe a bit more ice cream. It's nice,
No,
not too
it's perfect.
sweet.
Yeah, this is perfect. Yummy. This is yum. I know you love
Good
Japanese.
question.
I know you love
I
Japanese.
love Japanese and Ghar Ka Khana. That's probably my two favorite. And today, you are cooking for me. I'm doing the
Pleasure.
drinks, you're doing the food.
Pleasure.
So what are you planning to make today?
You know, since you mentioned that you like Japanese food a lot, and guppy is, who doesn't love guppy? Who doesn't love guppy? I have to actually congratulate you. I was there recently, and I probably one of the few restaurants which has maintained its standard from when it was till up until today. I don't see the change in the ingredients or the quality or so.
Yeah, thank you.
That's AD Singh for you.
So I got to tell you an interesting story about. So whenever I'm opening a restaurant, obviously a lot of tasting going on. Typically through that journey, I put on a few kilos, 4 or 5, Also work pressures is that. When I opened my first Japanese restaurant, it was called Ai.
Yes,
in
yes.
Saket, many years ago.
Yes.
I found to my surprise, I lost weight. And that really said a lot to me about the healthiness
Yes.
of the cuisine, you know?
Yes.
The inherent healthiness of it. So ever since then, of course, it's delicious, it's a little different flavors. We've all grown up in India with Chinese food.
Yes.
And now, of course, we get great Pan-Asian food, of which Japanese, I'd say, is my favorite. I don't know Korean food well. I'm looking forward to exploring that.
Do you take part in the menus and what needs to be served? I mean, are you like involved in that part?
Yeah. So with my restaurants, when we are creating them, and right now we're just creating a couple new ones, concept, size, vibe, feel, positioning, that's all me. That's what I lead. And that's where I have a reasonably good sense of what I think will work, what the market's looking for. For many years, I used to just do what I was looking for. And because the Indian market was so starved, that anything new actually, which if you did it well, worked well.
Yes.
So I built up a good reputation. To be honest, not doing anything amazing, but being the forerunner for the whole standalone restaurant industry in our country. And then as it's evolved, I've of course learned more about food. I still don't have an amazing palate, but I have a very good sense of putting the restaurant together. I don't get involved with any recipes. My chefs know much better than me. But the mix, starters, main courses, should they be, desserts, presentations, positioning of all of that, positioning of pricing, all that I'm involved with. Yes. Japanese food in particular, because I love it personally, I know it well, I've eaten a little bit here and there. I do work a bit more closely with the chefs than with some of the other restaurants. By and large, I think as a company where we've been lucky and kind of our ideology has been to bring good people and really look after them well.
Yes.
And as a result, many of my top leadership have been with us over 10 years, over 15 years, some over 20 years.
Yes.
I'd say if you look at all the restaurant good groups in the country, by far we have the best strength of managers, and I'd say by far the longest time, And that's really something that's helped us get where we are, because frankly, I wasn't born a restaurateur, I never studied it, I'm not a chef, but I think just by bringing good people and working with them and growing. So we've worked closely with many NGOs over the years.
Rah and another one.
So no, we worked with like Jai Vakil, with Om. I tried to focus on giving back for midday meals for kids, especially as a restaurateur and I guess as a human being, to having kids going hungry,
Yes.
sometimes dying of starvation is, how can we live with that, There's only so much I can do, and there's only so much any of us can do, but every little bit counts, So by and large, I've tried to work with NGOs focusing on midday meals. And a few years ago, I can't quite remember how many years, we started our own NGO called Restaurants Against Hunger.
That is the one which I'm talking about, the RAR.
Which is called
yes,
RAR.
Yes.
And what we do is at the Olive Group, we charge people at some of our restaurants 10 rupees on every bill, and then the Olive Group matches that. And those 20 rupees really add up. By the end of the year, we donate quite a sizable sum.
When we got to know, we were all extremely shocked that AD, who is so fit, AD who has never been out of shape any time when I have seen him, and what has this happened? So I was under the impression that you had a heart condition or something. You want to share the story? That would be great, because this is something unbelievable. Touch wood, by God's grace, I'm so happy that you're well and within us. But what happened, AD?
So in 2018, March sometime, I had a fever. We saw the doctors, they said nothing much. Fever went away. I went to sleep on Friday night. Next thing I knew, I woke up in the ICU of Beach Candy about 17, 18 days later. I'd been in a coma for 17, 18 days. Apparently, somewhere through the night, I passed out. Somehow my wife figured out in the morning. Maybe when I was getting up for the kids and I didn't get up, she couldn't move me. She called to the family for help. They arrived. I have a lot of family who lives there.
You want to check if it's cooked?
I'm being a guinea pig now, am I?
Yes. No.
So my family arrived. They pretty much carried me on their shoulders to Beach Candy Hospital, which is close by. And I was put into ICU straight away. I know none of this. I was in a coma, and I was like that for 2.5 weeks roughly. And nobody knew what happened. They couldn't figure it out.
The doctors don't know.
They still don't know what happened to me. And I guess basically they just did their best to keep me alive, to see which way it went. And they were of the opinion that I was pretty much gone. Felt something had happened to the brain, they didn't know what. And 2.5 weeks roughly later, I opened my eyes.
Just like that?
Just like that. And after a bit, they shifted me to normal room. I was still in hospital for a while, then went home. About a month, I was back in the pool, starting to take tentative steps. In 2-3 months, I was like you see me today.
And still no one knows what was the problem. Nobody knows what happened. Nobody knows. Is it cooked?
It's cooked and tasting good.
That there is, what is the most common myth that you feel is there about what you do?
You know, it's a very glamorous and exciting industry from outside. It is that from inside too, but it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, and I always advise people wondering about it, don't get into it as a business. Get into it because you enjoy some aspect of it.
Cheers to the OG AD.
Cheers to
Yes.
that. Big directors from all over the world, actors, sportsmen. I'm a youth sportsman. So for me, having people like, let's say, John T. Rhodes or Clive Lloyd, these are the legends I grew up with. So that's been a big part of the Olive buzz. And of course, some of the most famous the stories, the moments between these celebrities have also happened at Olive.
So do you think the hospitality industry is not on the government radar? We keep hearing such mixed things all the time. What is your opinion about that?
I strongly feel that the hospitality industry should be the government's most preferred industry. You know why? One, we provide a huge amount of employment.
Exactly.
Which is one of the big goals of any government. And the second, which I'm not sure everybody realizes, is that we really give a lot of happiness to people and help them with a good work-life balance, de-stress after life stuff for everybody. And so I think for the government, we're doing two very important goals for them. We're helping keep people happy, we're providing employment, and also through revenue shares, taxes, etc. We give very sizable revenue to the government as well.
You want to go there?
I feel we should be very much the preferred industry for government. It's getting better. I think we're all starting to work together, but there's still a bit of a ways to go. I think the old reputation of our industry was different, and now the government is slowly realizing the professionalism, the quality, the really so many positive aspects of it. And I'm hoping as we go along, we work closer and closer together with the government across India.
But do you think, is there enough government support for restaurateurs?
So, in our country, a lot also depends on the state governments. So over the years, different state governments have seen the benefits and have worked very closely in terms of policies and other supports to us. So support for us happens at the center level and at the state level. Over the years, different governments at the state levels have been very supportive. They see the value of the industry in terms of policies, planning, whatever help is required. At the center, we want recognition of us as an industry. We don't yet officially have that, and that's something that we're really looking forward to.
There are too many liquor problems, ingredient problems. I don't know why, but it is a problem.
No, Rinku, I really feel that by the F&B industry and the government working closely together, we can much better achieve both our aims, and I'm hoping that will happen very soon.
Yes, absolutely. So also there was a very beautiful story which I know, which is your mom's goodbye from beyond. Okay, come here. I can stir better from this side and
sure.
tell us.
So my mother was a very important part of our lives, and as I said, she gave me the money and the huge support to get started all those years ago.
Don't burn your hand.
Yeah. Unfortunately, my mother passed away of cancer. She fought it for a long time, some years back. And it's amazing what happened next. We took her ashes to Rishikesh, wanted to put her in the water of the Ganga. And that first night, me, my brother, my sister were just feeling her all around us. And two things happened that it was her talking to us.
Tell us one thing that happens behind the scenes that patrons or guests would be surprised to know.
I think patrons will be very surprised if they knew the amount of discussions, decisions, arguments that go on over, directions, trends. I'll give you one good example. I walked into Delhi one day. We have a star chef here, Chef Dhruv Oberoi. And the new menu, I suddenly saw an amla salad. Now, Olive is a Mediterranean brand, and it's very strongly so. And how the heck had amla come on without my knowing? So I called him up. I called him over, a little, quite unhappy actually that had happened without discussion. And he said, "Sir, just try it." And I love that salad. I have it every time I go to Olive. And you see, Dhruv and his team are very much about sustainability, local ingredients, and this is what he started with. And because of that, it really married well. It's a very, very popular salad with all our customers. And so we are able to go in that direction.
Happy accidents.
No, I'd say very much, designed by them, but it came together really
Yes.
well.
Yes.
So I'm sure many customers was coming today are surprised to see local ingredients on such a fabulous
Yes.
Mediterranean restaurant.
Yes, and okay, so you have like I said, you have been the the original, the OG restaurateur when who bought.
Are you about to give me a Lifetime Achievement Award as well?
You deserve more than that. Honestly, to bring so many original things into our lives. Well, thank you for that. But what is the hardest part about being a restaurateur? And is there any like pivotal moment that shaped you into the person you are today?
Our industry, and I don't want to sugarcoat it, of course has a lot of challenges. You have to be fresh and innovative. You have to be consistent. A diner judges you
Yes.
by his last bite. And so we have to really work very hard on quality and consistency across whatever challenges different restaurants have at different times. There's also, of course, issues with competition. That's so in all business. And sometimes the issues with policies, which, as I said, we try and work closely with the government to make them more positive going forward where it's not so.
Okay, so now we're just going to do some fun questions, okay? If you had to choose one dish and one drink from all your restaurants, just one, that encapsulates your personality, what would they be?
Rinku, that's an impossible question to answer.
No, we want to know.
So I gotta say that my favorite food is ghar ka khana. First what my mom used to make, now what my wife makes up for me. And I think it'll be so for most of our listeners, nothing can ever match that.
What do you eat at home?
So my wife tries to give me some non-veg in most meals that we have at home. And she's taught the cook to make really good lachidar paratha. So that, some non-vegetarian, Indian. And my mother would laugh if she saw me. I eat a lot of vegetables with every meal. Things that she'd have to buy me comics, stuff when I was growing up. Loki, tinli, gobi.
You eat all of that today?
I can't have a meal without enough vegetables.
What is that one dish and one drink from all of your restaurants that you would pick? This is A.D. Singh.
So I'd say as a cocktail, probably the one that I end up having the most, enjoy the most, is the espresso martini.
Yes.
Olive, of course, does it very well because it's something I'm myself trying all the time. As a dish, it's a tough one. I'd say that amla salad, hilariously at Olive, is probably my single favorite dish across the restaurants. At Guppy, I tend to, the minute I sit down, and always place for the salmon tartar and for an udon noodle soup with prawn tempura. That's my go-to at Guppy.
One guilty pleasure that you have that might surprise everyone.
Bad habits that I grew up with. I try to be as, low fat with that. So I guess the thing that I eat at most at night when I get back is popcorn. I really enjoy a nice, tasty tub of cheesy popcorn or butter popcorn. It's not high on fat.
Yes.
Fills you up. When you're looking for a snack, it's great.
That's a great idea. So if you want to look as good and be as fit, this is one of the tips. When you're hungry, at midnight, eat popcorn. Okay, so if you could invite 3 people, living or dead, it doesn't matter, who would they be? And where would you take them or what would you order for them?
So for me, I'd love to invite my mom. We really all miss her so much. I have a twin brother that I am very, very close to.
Oh, you have a twin brother?
Yeah, we connected so many levels and have connected at so many levels all through our lives, some of which can't be explained by science, you know, it's just something I think between twins that happens. We've gone through many of the same.
Is it true? Is it true
Absolutely
that
true,
if something happens to one twin, the other one feels the same?
It's not quite that. That's
true?
a bit of a cliche, but for sure, my twin and I have had many experiences through our life that can't be explained by just happenstance. So, yes, there is some magic in twins that comes out in all sorts of little ways.
And the third person?
It's a tough one. I have a sister who I love very much. I have a wife who I love very much. And I have 2 kids that I love very much. But for a great meal, my kids aren't really foodies. So if it was some exciting restaurant that I really want to take my most loved ones to, then the third one would probably be my wife. So my mom, my wife, and my twin.
So basically family.
Family, yeah, absolutely.
How do you keep up with what's trending and what people want? You already answered that, you keep younger people, so we can avoid this. Eri, where do you see like 5 or 10 years down the line? What does the future look like? Any new projects that you want to share with us? What you are coming up with to excite us?
So, you know, I've been in this industry a long time. It's mainly because I love it. And so I see my future as staying connected to these brands that I built. They're my babies. Though what I probably in the next 2-3 years will move away from the executive role that I have today to be more strategic and more leadership, and have all the people who've grown up with us lead the day-to-day running of the company. That's the one big change that I see happening.
If AD were to have a theme song about him, what would that song be, or what would that music be? I know the answer. Something in jazz. No, I could be wrong. What if AD were to have a theme song?
It would be My Way. I've meandered along this journey my way. I've not really followed a lot of conventional management wisdoms.
Yes.
For example, when I started, even now, a lot of people believe that the best management, and you know, you get the most out of your workforce by being a tough boss, by being a hard boss, by cracking that whip. That's not been me ever, you know. And because that wasn't me as a personality, I've always been very supportive and helping them grow and hoping for a win-win. And that's really...
What gets AD really mad, like really angry?
I get very angry about the core values. If people are taking advantage of the way we support them, the way we help them grow, and are just goofing off, taking the company for granted, that makes me quite mad.
I agree. Being taken for granted is not a good feeling. And 3 things from your childhood that you miss the most?
Nothing really, you know, the world was different, but it was lovely in its own way that time, it's lovely in its own way today. So I can't offhand think about anything I really miss.
That's a beautiful answer also. When not dining at your own spaces, where do you like to eat out?
My wife loves Som and Swati snacks, so we eat there a lot. I personally, in Bombay, am very fond of Bombay Canteen. I love the vibe that Alex and Malika created at Americano. I love the cafe that Gauri created, the Mac Street Café.
If you can't sleep in the middle of the night, what do you do?
If I can't sleep in the middle of the night, I wake up and read a book. I'm a voracious reader. Always got something I'm reading, especially when I'm traveling flights at night to put me to sleep. And sometimes, you know, when you've had a tough day, it's a great de-stressor as well.
Okay. So, answer honestly.
So hard on this.
Answer honestly. The best restaurant in Delhi NCR.
outside of my own restaurants, I of course love Indian accent. I'm a huge admirer of Rohit and everything he does. And I'm so happy to see the way they're growing and now his full-time efforts and, to the restaurant industry.
The most overrated spot in Delhi NCR.
I'm not going to comment.
You have to tell.
No, it's not fair.
This was an honest woe.
No, I won't be doing
Because you're not being honest, we have to leave this game out.
Thank God.
Okay. Okay, quickly, book on your bedside.
Currently, I'm reading this Korean bestseller by this lady who starts a bookshop. The name is a little confusing, but I can pull it out.
Ties or open collared shirts?
I haven't worn a tie for as long as I can remember.
You haven't, okay. The brand on your wrist?
I'm not a brand person at all.
Whiskey or wine?
Whiskey.
One thing that you're looking forward to when you retire?
I'm one of those people who has a fairly balanced life. Whatever I want to do, I try and do it.
Please feel free to take whatever you like more.
What I'd probably look forward to is some more time with my kids.
Yeah. Adi, any last words for us?
All the best for restaurateurs. I look forward to watching your podcast. I look forward to seeing you again soon.
Absolutely.
And I do want to tell listeners, in case they're curious, Rinku could get a job at my Japanese restaurant.
Thank you for coming all the way.
My pleasure.
Stay well.
You too.
And keep giving us more such delightful places to come and dine at, such experiences that you create, which
Thank
are
you.
beyond normal.
Thank you so much.